Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to tie, or to show you how to tie, the needle knot. So the needle knot is used with a piece of heavy monofill line, in this case I'm using a 12 pounds breaking strain, and it's connected to the fly line. Alright, and it comes out through the middle of the fly line, and you use a needle to get into the center of this fly line basically. And at the end of that monofill line, it's about 1.5 feet long, you tie your perfection loop, and then you do a loop to your leader. All right, so I'm going to draw you first what I'm going to do. So I get a piece of paper. So I have my stuff ready here. So I got this is my number 6 fly line that I'm going to put the needle knot onto. So this is my 12 pounds breaking strain line, which I'm going to attach to the fly line, and at the end of that I'm going to do a perfection loop. I have my pliers, I have some needles, I have a nail clipper, it's very handy. I've found that, I don't know if it's any good, but I'm going to try. So, very simply, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to draw you what I'm up to. So, here's the fly line. So the fly line is going to be, one second, I'll move that out of the way. The fly line is just going to be like this. Oopsie daisy. Alright, so you can see that there. Okay, and I'm going to put the needle through here with the line. It's going to come out the side. I'm then going to loop it back like this. And I'm going to wrap it around about 5 or 6 times like that, and it's going to go out through the loop. And then you pull it tight, it slides down and gets stuck. Basically, that's it. Hopefully you can see that there. All right, now I'm going to pop that over there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I get my fly line, which is here, and I have it in my hand like that. I then get my needle, and I have to put on a piece of this Maxima line. So what I'm going to do now is get to the end of that, like this. And I'm going to get my nail clippers and I'm going to cut this at an angle of 45 degrees. So in other words, like that. So I'm making a point on this monofill so that I can thread it through the needle. Now, this takes a bit of practice, I can tell you, because the old eyesight now, there we go, hang on. Is it going in? Nope. Try that again. All right, I'm going to try that again. Here we go. So, got to feed it through the eye. Like that. There we go, got it. Okay, so put out some line. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and feed it through the center of the fly line. So you have to be careful here because you don't want to stick the needle in your hands. So I find a spot right there. Here we go, and do that again. Pop it in there. Didn't go. There we go. So now you just squeeze it up along as best you can. Now you got to try and keep it centered. That's important. It's gone out again, so try that again. Feed it through. There we go, lovely. It's gone in through there. Now I'm going to get my pliers and I'm going to hold the needle and I'm going to try and slide the line up between my fingers along the needle like this. Now I just very simply, gently move it around. So I'm spinning it around very gently, taking care not to stick myself with the needle in my fingers, you see. I don't want to do that. So keep going now, just another little bit. And there we go. Now she's coming out the side. That's perfect. About that distance is fine. That's around, would it be 5 or 6 millimeters, or probably a centimeter actually. So now I'm just going to go back again here. I'm going to slide the line down like that. So there we are, look. And now I'm getting near the line at the eye of the needle, and I'm now going to catch the front of it like that. And I'm going to slide the line, the fly line, through the eye of the needle like that. There we go, and out it pops. Excellent stuff. All right, now, so there's the line. I'm going to shove that out of the way. So now I have the needle here. Now I have to find the sharp piece and the long piece. So is that the sharp piece? No, it's not. So the sharp piece is this one. Sharp piece is that one. Pull it out all the way. There we go. Very good. Take the needle off, pop it there. So this is what it looks like. See that? So now the line is coming out the side of the fly line. Okay, so the monofill is coming out the side of the fly line. So then you bend back the line or the monofill like that. Now, ideally, if you had someone to hold this, it would be fantastic, or even just to put a bit of pressure on it, it would help. Do you know what? Hang on, I'm going to get something to hold this. Now, 1 second. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pressure on the line itself by adding some of these just elastics. So I'm going to wrap it on the spool like that, just to hold the line in position. So the plan here is to add a bit of weight to the fly line, or sorry, to the monofill, just coming out to the fly line. This is weighty, so I'm going to pop it over the side. So now this puts a bit of pressure here, see that? So I'm going to pull along here like that, give me a bit more. I've got the loop, all right, my loop, there's my loop. So I'm going to start again now, just, there we go. So there's my loop, hold it in thumb and forefinger. I'm going to start here. So there's 1, 2, up along, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops daisies, 8, say 9, so 9 of those, and then I put the top piece of the line through the loop at the top here, fingers and thumbs like that. All right, and pull it out like that, there we go. And now what you do is you just pull it gently, and you pull this one and you pull the top one, and it just very gently, look, see it, it tightens itself up along, look, and then you just move it along slowly. Don't do it too fast, just do it slowly, and you see, and it'll move with, you see this, it'll move down along. Now pull it another little bit, all right, there we go. Don't grip it too tight, because you don't want to finish, you want to finish it up near the front of the hole that's just there, right? Slide it along, here we go. Pull it again, another little bit, there we go. That's it, that's looking good. Now, it can look rough and ready in some cases, but I never worry about that, so long as the line is coming out to the center of the fly line. That's the main thing. And then you're going to pull it tight here again, pull it back that way, just move it along slowly. Now, you could have a go at this a few times until you get it, until you're happy with your result, you know. So there you go, that's tight in there now, so that's pretty tight. Now, I'm going to very simply just trim it. Now, you might say it's rough and ready, and yes, it is. I'm going to say yes, it is. I'm not going to deny it. It looks rough and ready, but it will work perfectly because the line is coming straight out of here. All right, there you go. Now, I had a lovely one there that I did earlier on, which is, where's it gone to? It is this one. There's another one I did, and that turned out fantastic like that. All right. Always, you know, that's how that worked out. Perfect. So this is the other one I have. So just, as I said, this is my other fly line, and I'm going to use this, it doesn't matter. So then at this end, I'm going to tie a perfection loop. So, and I've shown you in a previous video how that's done. So I'm going to get a piece of paper so you can see that again. So very simply, just bend the line underneath, use a bit more, underneath like that. Then you go over the top, and you have a little one, and then you go through the middle like that, and you hold it with the edge of your fingers, and now you pull the little one through the big one like that, I see, and then you wet it, of course. Oh, don't let it go, just wet it like that, and that's a perfection loop, just like that. Just make sure it's tight, there we go. And then you just trim that again, and that's it. All right, just trim a little bit off that. Okay, so there we go. So that's it. I'm going to show you this one because it came out really well. There's my leader knot. All right, or there's my perfection loop. All right, and there's my nail knot, as they call it, or needle knot, nice and tight. And I'm going to use this for mullet. All right, wrap it on there, perfect. Okay, the other one I have is this one. Some of my fly lines look like this. I change these, by the way, every year, you know. So, but that's fine. I know it looks a bit rough and ready, but it does work. And if it works, as I always say, don't fix it. All right. So, thank you for watching. Steve's Gone Fishing.